Chapter 3 of the Narrative of Sojourner Truth by Olive Gilbert and Sojourner Truth. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Holly Jensen. Chapter 3 Her Brothers and Sisters. Isabella's father was very tall and straight when young, which gave him the name of Boomfree, Low Dutch for tree. At least, this is Sojourner's pronunciation of it, and by this name he usually went. The most familiar appellation of her mother was Mau Mau Bet. She was the mother of some 10 or 12 children, though Sojourner is far from knowing the exact number of her brothers and sisters, she being the youngest save one, and all older than herself, having been sold before her remembrance. She was privileged to behold 6 of them while she remained a slave. Of the 2 that immediately preceded her in age, a boy of 5 years and a girl of 3, who were sold when she was an infant, she heard much, and she wishes that all who would fain believe that slave parents have not natural affection for their offspring could have listened as she did while Boomfree and Mau Mau Bet, their dark cellar lighted by a blazing pine knot, would sit for hours, recalling and recounting every endearing as well as harrowing circumstance that taxed memory could supply from the histories of those dear departed ones of whom they had been robbed, and for whom their hearts still bled. Among the rest, they would relate how the little boy, on the last morning he was with them, arose with the birds, kindled a fire, calling for his Mau Mau to come, for all was now ready for her, little dreaming of the dreadful separation which was so near at hand, but of which his parents had an uncertain, but all the more cruel foreboding. There was snow on the ground at the time of which we are speaking, and a large old-fashioned sleigh was seen to drive up to the door of the late Colonel Ardinburgh. This event was noticed with childish pleasure by the unsuspicious boy, but when he was taken and put into the sleigh, and saw his little sister actually shut and locked into the sleigh box, his eyes were at once opened to their intentions, and like a frightened deer he sprang from the sleigh, and running into the house concealed himself under a bed. But this availed him little. He was reconveyed to the sleigh and separated forever from those whom God had constituted his natural guardians and protectors, and who should have found him, in return, a stay and a staff to them in their declining years. But I make no comments on facts like these, knowing that the heart of every slave parent will make its own comments, involuntarily and correctly, as soon as each heart shall make the case its own. Those who are not parents will draw their conclusions from the promptings of humanity and philanthropy. These, enlightened by reason and revelation, are also unerring. End of Chapter 3. Recording by Holly Jensen.